All right, good evening, Inspire Beauty. Let us try that again from the top. It is getting close to the end of January. We are almost into February. I cannot believe, like, honestly, the month has come, it's gone, and we're rocking and rolling. But I wanted to make sure that I got some announcements in before we dive into the content for tonight. So real quick before I share the screen, you guys, don't forget that Team Cup is happening in February. Team Cup is teams of 5. Last year, and I'm not trying to throw any comparison our way, but I kind of am. Last year, we had 2 Team Cups on Inspire Beauty. This year, we are a much bigger Inspire Beauty tribe, and we can barely get 1 team together right now. So I am like, it's all good. I'm not letting it bother me, but I do believe that we can be better than what we are currently being. So Team Cup is happening. I personally need to find 1 more person for our team, but if more people want to do Team Cup and be a part of that push in February, we will make room and we will figure out 2 teams. We'll do like we did last year and just kind of randomly draw the teams. No problem with that. Team Cup, if you are registered for Summit and you sign up for Team Cup, Carl Deichler, the CEO of Team Beachbody, will put you in a private group training for the month of February where you are learning all the ins and outs and intricacies about best practices to hit Success Club and help people achieve their goals. So it is a really cool opportunity to not only be going to Summit to rock it out with your Inspire Beauty friends, also being a part of Team Cup, but you get that extra push from the freaking CEO himself, and I am excited, yes, Jessica, about that opportunity. So if you want to be a part of Team Cup, make sure you reach out to me or go on the team page and comment on the post that I made earlier today about that. I think I put it on the National Wake Up Call. Second part of housekeeping for today, guys, is Coach Basics is coming back in February. So I haven't ran Coach Basics in a while, but it's going to come back. If you are a coach who is newer and has never done Coach Basics, I invite you to plug into it. If you have newer coaches on your downline that you want to plug into it, encourage them to be a part of Coach Basics. Or if you've done Coach Basics before, but you feel like you want to get back into the swing of things, rock on with your bad self. Coach Basics is coming back. So that's it for announcements. I am going to share our screen. I'm excited about tonight. So tonight we are talking about simplifying things and duplicating. And I'm going to already tell you guys that I am the biggest person and offender of not simplifying this business and not just freaking duplicating. Case in point, Michelle Myers is not my direct upline, but she is a 2 above me, and she is, an elite coach in this network. She was in the Million Club or is in the Million Club. I mean, she is just incredible. And she had these, what would you call them, Coach Basics like videos on YouTube. And you guys, when I was beginning in my business, rather than just using her Coach Basics videos and like the day 1, day 2, like she had them all set up, day 1, day 2, day 3. Rather than use hers, I decided to watch hers, copy them, record them myself, probably many times because I was not good at video, record them a bunch of times, and then share them with my team who, quite honestly, probably everybody who's seen those videos is no longer even a member of Inspire Beauty anymore. So look at how awesome that process was. I didn't simplify and I didn't duplicate. Guys, so I'm telling you this from my heart tonight. This is something that I have had difficulty with in my own business. And there are even, as I was making this all these slides tonight and just going through what I wanted to talk through with you guys, I was thinking of places in my own business where I need to really gut check myself and simplify and just freaking duplicate because I don't need to reinvent the wheel. So I'm going to talk about some common problems, you guys, that we all face. And if there's anything that pops up that you want to chat through or that you're like amen to, just use that chat. I love when I see you guys interacting on there. I can't personally see the chat right now, but if you guys talk amongst each other via that is cool. So common problems excuse me, that we all face in this business. It doesn't matter if you are a top coach, you're a brand new stinking coach, everyone at some point will face this. One is management mode. Feeling like you have to manage the people either on your team or in your challenge group. it's just not fun. I call management mode, I have a not so classy name for it. I call it dragging people through the mud. And I know when I start dragging people through the mud, I've gone, rather than leading from the front and just being a leader and doing what I know I can do and control what I can control, all of a sudden I'm dragging people. All of a sudden I'm checking in on people. All of a sudden I'm babysitting people. And that's not fun. And that's not a part of this business. You never need to feel like you're a manager in this business. The second I start to feel that twinge, I'm like, okay, wait, Brittany, you don't need to manage anyone. You lead from the front. And then I have to just kind of gut check, look in the mirror, and do what I know I'm supposed to be doing, right? It's also not about reinventing the wheel. There are so many resources out there beyond even just Inspire Beauty. One of the things I love about our team is that we literally have every resource that you could ever need to be successful. But you know that there are other resources beyond the walls of our group. Like you could go to Google and freaking type in anything. You could go to YouTube and type in anything. And I bet you could become the top coach in the network simply by just training yourself via the things, the systems, and the resources that are out there. Common problem is reinventing that wheel. I am a big offender of that as well. Scared of messaging. Common problem we all face, guys. It is, but this is the way I see it. If you're afraid of messaging, you have to look at it in a different way. You know, everybody who is on our team said yes to someone at some point and was so thankful for that person for reaching out to them. There's nobody on our team that's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you messaged me. It was so stupid, but I love being on Inspire Beauty. Like, no, like we're all thankful for the person that invited us. So we have to remove that fear of being scared, because also, you guys, most people, are not seeing your posts. The algorithms on social media are making it so that your posts are not being seen by many people. So when you're making an assumption and throwing out a Hail Mary that like everyone's going to see my invite, you're wrong. They're not going to see that you're running a challenge group. And even if they see it, they might scroll right past it. Maybe they're not even in a place where they're thinking and computing what that actually means. So the message, guys, is our form of actually inviting somebody to what we do. It is our job to tell people what we do. We all have fluff. I am a big fluff offender, okay? I could sit down and I could tell you like a million things that I'm gonna do today, and they're all like really focused on the business, and then all of a sudden, I'm like squirrel over here, and I start scrolling social media and I buy myself a swimsuit. Like, what? Why am I doing that? No, like focus, right? So there's lots of fluff that we face. Lack of planning. And lack of knowing, this goes with that, of knowing what to invite to and when you should make those invites, and just not having a system in place, okay? But all of these problems can be fixed, you guys, with systems, okay? And so I want to talk through all of that with you tonight, because every problem that's on there, there's a system for that. There is a duplication system that we have in place that you can use for that. So before I even start, I want you guys to get like laser focused on this. Found this quote, and I really think it's a good gut check for your mindset right now. If you are sitting here, okay, and you're starting to think of reasons like, oh, but Brittany works this business full time. I have a job, so it's different for me. Or Brittany doesn't have, and I'm using me as an example because it's easier for me to just say like my differences from some of you guys. Brittany doesn't have kids. She doesn't know what it's like, to be home with the kids and not be able to work my business. Oh, Brittany doesn't have to worry about, like there's so many excuses you could go down with. So if you're confused, you guys, about why you aren't where you want to be, you need to write down a list of your excuses and realize that everything on that list is why. And that hits me really hard too. I can sit here and I can come up with a million reasons. Oh, she's really successful because X, Y, and Z. Oh, she's so successful because of X, Y, and Z. Oh my gosh, I wish I could do blah, blah, blah like her. It's easy for me to do that as well. Okay, but you also have to understand that those excuses you make are the reason why you're not where you want to be in your business. And I'm doing that gut check out of deep love for all of you guys, because I want your mindset to be in the right place. I don't want you to sit here tonight and have a mindset of like, yeah, I would do that if, right? Because quite honestly, a lot of this training and a lot of this insight that I got is from a coach who is top in the network, one of the top coaches in the network, and a music teacher. And this is her first year not working as a school teacher, but she, for her first 3 years of her business, and she was an elite coach during this time, was a school teacher and made it happen. Okay. So this is somebody who knows what it's like to be in the trenches and also build a business at the same time. Reality is most everybody in this network has stuff going on, right? Has their own list of excuses. So it's embracing that, getting yourself in the right frame of mind. So let's get to it then. So the first thing, guys, in terms of systems and whatnot, is not to reinvent the wheel. And we've got to just get rid of the fluff. So first of all, places where people, coaches tend to reinvent the wheel. Coach Basics. Guys, Coach Basics, challenge groups, trainings, guides for everything. It's all been done for you. Like, it's all there. If you go into your Coach Online office, you can find access to all of those things. If you go to the Inspire Beauty resource page, it's all there. If you look in the files sections of any of our groups, it's literally all been done for you. There's nothing you need to reinvent. It's fun. Like, I am a creator, and I love, like, one of my favorite parts of this business is creation. I love creating. And so I have to stop myself when I'm like, ooh, let me create a brand new fancy da-da-da-da. No, Brittany, you don't need to do that. It's already been done. You just need to duplicate it. Go do it. Go implement it, which is why, like, this Coach Basics that I'm talking about that's coming back in February, it will be the exact Coach Basics we've always run. Maybe a few tweaks to how we talk about social media, because that is shifting right now, and it's a little different than how I've been training coaches on social media. But Coach Basics is going to be the same, okay? I'm not going to spend all of my business building time worrying about crafting a great Coach Basics because it's already been done for me, okay? Having a better graphic, having a better this, having a better that, having better wording, it's not going to make you more successful. Doing the behaviors will make you more successful, okay? Challenge group guides, free challenge group guides. All of that stuff is in the Coach Online office, as well as the resource page. Funny fact, I'm running 80-Day Obsession right now, and I decided I would do the posting for 80-Day Obsession because it's mostly coaches in there anyway. And I literally have pulled everything so far straight from the challenge group guide. And I don't think of myself at all as a failure. I think I am able to give more of my actual heart and soul into that group and help the coaches and challengers that are in there get the best results and focus on that rather than focusing on brand new content for the next 80 days. Beachbody's already done it for me, so I'm just going to go do the group, right? One of the reasons I think a lot of people are scared to run challenge groups is because you say, oh, well, I don't know what to say. Guys, the groups are literally already laid out for us. All you have to do is copy, paste, and insert it. And as you get better, you can tweak it as you go, right? But you don't have to reinvent the wheel. So I have a couple questions for you to ask yourself, like when you sit down to work and to do the things in your business that you need to get done. The first question you need to ask yourself, is it necessary? Like, is this something right now that's necessary for me to be doing? Case in point, I was working this morning and I clicked on I clicked on something because I needed to answer a question for myself really quick, but I went down the rabbit hole. All of a sudden I started going down the rabbit hole and I caught myself and I said, wait a second, Brittany, what are you doing? You're literally doing what you're trying to tell your team tonight not to do. I'm doing the fluff. So I'm not saying that it doesn't happen, but I'm saying that you've got to start asking yourself, okay, wait a second, is what I'm doing right now necessary to where I'm trying to go? Okay, is it necessary for coaches on our team to run a Coach Basics group all by themselves? I don't think so, because A, our team isn't that massive. B, we have a self-paced group, and C, I've got one locked in place that everybody else can put their coaches into. You know what I mean? Like, so I understand, like, it'd be fun to do this or it'd be nice to do that, but is it necessary? And is doing that going to take away from the time you have to truly dig deep and work your business? Is it worth it? What's the return on investment? I started looking at my blog this week as I was planning for the week, and I was like writing down the blog articles that I had specifically planned for this week at the top of the month. And I started to ask myself, wow, Brittany, is creating content for your blog right now worth it? I have a lot of content on my blog that I can reuse and recycle and shell out. And part of me is like, Brittany, with where your focus is right now, it's not as worth it to write a blog as it would be to get out there and make more connections on Instagram or research more stuff about Instagram and get better at that. And so again, that question, is it worth it? It might be fun and it might be fancy and it might be fluffy and shiny, but is it worth it? right? Is it going to give you the best return on your investment? Same thing. Is it, to go along with that, is it business building? Okay. When you're sitting there scrolling Facebook because you got on there because you knew you wanted to send some invites out, are you actually building your business when you're scrolling on social media? Is it building anything, or is it just taking up time? I think that's where a lot of coaches get caught up and lost in their business, is that they end up feeling like there's not enough time to build it. But I think, honestly, most of our time is ended up with fluff, right? So the thing that I like to start with is my monthly plan, which every month I give this to you guys. Every month I'm very transparent about what I'm doing in my business and how you can then duplicate it. There is no need to take my monthly plan and like reinvent it. My monthly plan is pretty simple. I know it looks a lot like gibberish on here right now because I just have so many colors and so many words, but it's very simple. Every Monday is a team Zoom. The very first part of the month, I'm always inviting to a challenge group. The very second half of the month, I'm always inviting to coaching, right? And then I start it over again. February comes, I invite to a challenge group. End of February, I invite to coaching, and it continues on and on and on. And my calendars duplicate that. If you notice, I always have my free group towards the end of the month so that I can build that relationship with people. So that way, come the top of the month, when I start inviting, those are some people I can go back to and send out invites. You'll always notice that my coach sneak peek or business opportunity calls are always at the end of the month. That's because that's the time that I'm always pushing either the challengers that are rocking it out, I want them to check out what Inspire Beauty is about, or if I'm having conversations about coaching in the last half of the month, it always is ending up pouring into that. Side note, next Monday, we don't have a normal Zoom. It will be a coach opportunity call. So if you are looking to add coaches or you know anybody that's wanting this community, next Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific time, that's what's going down, okay? Just a side note plug there because I forgot to say that during my announcements. But that's how it goes every single month, you guys, and I don't change it. So, I get to a place in my month where I'm like, okay, the free group's starting. It's like, okay, well, maybe I shouldn't do the free group. Maybe I should do this instead. No, I stick with the plan. I put it on there and I stick with it, okay? And I encourage you guys to do that also. Duplicate it because it works. The first half of the month, I worry about hitting Success Club. The second half of the month, I worry about enrolling coaches into our team. The next part is about working with a system. So we're not reinventing the wheel, and we're getting rid of the fluff in our business, and we're sticking with that plan, right? You got a game plan in front of you, and the best part is you've got plenty of time right now to craft your February game plan before February actually hits, right? But you've got to work with a system in place as well. So we're not going to reinvent the wheel to create a system, but just make sure that we are using a system. For example, tracking, okay? I'll show you on the next screen too, but it's very simple what I do. This is, I just have my tracker like this, and I'm a very pen and paper kind of person. You can also I do sticky notes for things, but you can do sticky notes for like posting ideas. If you're like, okay, I work full time and I have a hard time crafting posts. Okay, well, sit down on Sunday and figure out a posting system, right? For example, I always do some form of transformation on Tuesdays, not always like a body transformation. Sometimes I talk, about my life transformation too, business transformation, things like that. I love to talk on Wednesdays about food and recipes. I know social media is a little quieter on Fridays and Saturdays, so I don't put out my big right hooks and ask for people to join me on Fridays or Saturdays. But I know on Sunday night, people are definitely on social media scrolling and kind of not wanting to maybe get back into that work week. And so that's a lot of times when I will send that invite out, that mass invite, right? That Hail Mary that I was talking about. But I track it. It doesn't matter what you do, whether it's, just jotting it down on paper, or if you have a big old spreadsheet system, it doesn't matter, but you've got to track. You have to track, because I can't tell you how many times I have missed a message in my inbox and then months later realized that I never followed up with somebody who totally wanted to join, and then I missed out on an opportunity, right? So just keep yourself organized by tracking. So important. And every day, it gives me focus too, you guys. Every day, I know I'm going to talk to 5 new people. I know I'm going to send 5 conversations to ongoing conversations to people that I've been talking with for a while, just about life, not about Beachbody. I know I'm going to send 5 invitations out, and I know I'm going to do 5 follow-ups from people who either I haven't heard from in a while or told me no in the past. And I'm always going to add at least 5 new friends to my network. So I know that I'm laser focused. That's 1, 2, that's 20 conversations that I have on a daily basis with people. 20. By the end of the week, 20 times 7, 140. It's 140 conversations. I'm laughing at myself because of math. That's a lot of conversations. Now, they're not all invitations, but you've got to have ongoing conversations happening. And so this tracking keeps me focused on that. It breaks it down into bite-sized chunks. By the end of the week, that's a lot of people that I've spoken to. A system, too, to talk to your challengers. You want to make sure that you're giving your challengers the kind of love that you promise them when they get put into a group, right? And so we tell them that we're going to support them and be with them the entire way, but do you have a system in place where you are speaking to your challengers, whether it's checking in the challenge tracker app daily, certain times. Maybe it's, sending out a weekly email to everyone just to let them know some recaps from the week and what you think of them or what you've noticed. Maybe it's one-on-one check-ins, and the challenge tracker app makes it so easy to do that because literally all you have to do is go in there and you can send a personal message to that person. Okay. But there's so many opportunities for you to, check in with challengers. It's part of the system as well though, because again, if you're not supporting them throughout the journey, they're going to fall off. That's why this works. That's why Beachbody works. It's not because of fitness and nutrition. People can get that anywhere. It's because of the support and the community that we have. So you've got to have a system for that. So I ask, what are your systems? Now, again, back to number 1, we don't need to reinvent the wheel. We just need to know that we have a system in place, okay? This is my tracking system that I showed you kind of from afar. It is on our team page, you guys. I've given this to you. I created this and shared it. It's in the files section, I believe. You can download that PDF. But it's so super simple. And it gives me space for me to write down my most important tasks for the day. I can check out when I've done my workout and my shake. And guys, if you're looking at your tracker and you're justifying to yourself that, where you've missed the mark, your business isn't going to grow. And this is what I mean by that. There are a lot of times where I haven't, maybe I didn't drink my shake that day, but I want to feel really good about myself. And so I check it off anyway. I'm only lying to myself, right? I'm only making myself feel good. It's not moving my business forward. It's not making me healthier because I just simply checked it off, right? It's not about checking things off. It's about actually doing it, right? And so finding a system that works for you. If you go to freaking Pinterest, you guys, you can, and you look up Beachbody, Power Hour trackers, whatever, you'll find so many options and find one that works for you. This one is my newest one that kind of works for me. And I say kind of because it's always and ever evolving and changing as I grow in my business too. Okay. But you've got to track. So the last part that I want to talk about, guys, is posting and messaging systems, because yeah, you have gotten rid of the fluff. You've decided to not reinvent the wheel. You're working with a system. But if you're not posting and messaging also with a system, you're going to be spending way more time on your business than you ever need to. For example, every time I get ready to start a brand new group, I create an event for it. But my event typically is the same template every single time. I might just change up the words for the season. Obviously, the graphic probably changes for the new group that I'm going to host, but the template is pretty much the same every time. And so whenever you go to create a new event, for me, it's like clockwork now, because all I have to do is create the new graphic, upload that, and I copy and paste and maybe zhuzh the wording in my event, okay, to make it kind of sound better for that particular theme, right? But it's pretty much the same thing. I have a Google form that goes out to everyone that has interest in a challenge group. Do you have a Google form? That will make your life so much easier, because you don't have to sit there in Messenger and ask what somebody's goals are. All you have to say is, hey, I would love to give you information about this group. Can I send you a quick email? Cool. You get their email and you send over a canned response. And in my very first canned response on Google, on Gmail, is the link to my Google form, where then I will capture their goals. Okay. So canned responses are game changing. And if you haven't started using canned responses in your business, I highly encourage you to do so. We just added a new coach into our team today. Allison, you guys, whenever I sign a new coach, canned response, 7 days of a new coach welcome. I mean, if you've signed new coaches on our team in the last couple months, have you sent them those? Because that's a system. That's something that will help move your business forward. That's something that will help your new coaches to move their business forward, because you're giving them the information that they need, okay? If you need those canned responses, you guys, they are there for you. Inspire Beauty resource page, all there. It is all there. All of the canned responses that I create, I always upload them into the graphic that says canned responses. Same thing, scripts, you guys. Save them. I have on my computer, it's as simple as like the notepad on my computer. All I do every day is I open that up and I copy and I paste the right script that I want to say to this person. I adjust it accordingly, but when I'm going to go send an invite, I don't like sit here and like, oh God, what should I say? How do I invite this person? That's wasting time. We don't have time for that in our business. We've got to work more efficiently, right? And so I save my scripts. I might adjust them for the time of year, adjust them for the person that I'm talking to, but I save them and then I work from that. It might not be the same copy and paste for every person that I send it to, because I do want to individualize it slightly, but I'm not reinventing the wheel every single time I go to type an invite out. So let's wrap it up. Okay, guys. First and foremost, lead, don't manage. Remember, we don't need to be in management mode. You don't need to manage your challengers. You don't need to manage your coaches. You need to lead them. You lead them by what? Your vital behaviors, right? Proof of the product. Getting out there and doing that personal development and growing as a leader, growing as a person, as a human being on our team, right? I am not the same Brittany that I was when I signed up for this business. I am not the same Brittany I was a year ago. I'm always ever evolving, and that's personal development that is helping me to do that. Lead from the front in recognition. Lead from the front in invitations and in running challenge groups and in running coach opportunity calls and things like that. Lead from the front. Don't feel like you need to manage people, okay? There's a difference between resources that we have versus resourcefulness. This business is built on being resourceful. If you are resourceful, you will go far in this business. But if you simply are hanging on to resources and clinging to them and saying like, man, I just hope that, one day I have the courage to use what I've learned. Well, one day's never going to come, right? We know that Monday is always going to, it's always going to be, I'll start on Monday, right? You've got to be resourceful with what you've got. So you have the information, now go put action behind it. Go do it, go duplicate. So use what's been given to you. There's so many resources out there. Go use them. Go use them and teach other people to use them as well. Create your system, tweak and adjust what you need, and then go teach your team as well to duplicate it, right? That's what this business is built on. It's built on duplication. So simplify. If you feel overwhelmed, if you feel like there's just too much going on, I encourage you to maybe do a little inventory of where in your life, where in your business life, I should say, you're not just using the systems that have already been given to you and you're not teaching others to duplicate it as well. So your call to action, you guys, is simple. All I want you to do is think about it. You have the resources on Inspire Beauty. You have the resources on in your Coach Online office. You have the resources through beyond resources through Google and YouTube and just all of that. So are you using them? Or are you just holding on to resources? Or are you being resourceful, right? So your call to action is really simply just kind of something I want you to sit on and think on and then put action on, right? And that, my friends, is it. That's it. I'm going to read through your things. Well, if you want to unmute and anybody ask any questions or if anybody's got anything for me, I'm just reading through this really quick. Jessica, yeah. The swimsuits, they get me. Every time. It's because Facebook knows, when you start talking about stuff, Facebook's like, ooh, now I'll show them an ad for this. So then I get stuck. Math. Yeah. Any questions, anybody? Any comments, concerns, anything that you're like, dang, Britt, you really got me on that? Awesome. Then I think everybody's going to simplify and duplicate. I love it. But for real, guys, it's all about, like I said, and I am victim of this as well. Case in point, swimsuits, all that good stuff. I'm super victim of just trying to reinvent the wheel in my business. And I think now I wish I would have had an upline coach that told me, Brittany, you don't need to do that. You know what you need to do? You need to send out your messages. You know what you need to do? You need to do your personal development and make sure that you're, leading from the front. I wish that I had my coach kind of give me a little bit deeper of a gut check. And so this training was from a place of love and a place of, I want you to move faster than I moved in my business, because I simply just thought I had to reinvent everything, and you don't. You simply just duplicate. So that's it for tonight. Hey, Kayla. Rebecca, it's way past your bedtime, girl. All right. Well, yay, Rebecca. I'm so glad. All right, guys. Well, that is it, my friends. If there are no questions, I will let everybody go. So have a wonderful Monday. Get your rest for 80-day obsession or whatever you're doing, and I will talk to you guys later.